Welcome back to Jersey Matters. We continue our conversation now with Joseph Coronato, the prosecutor of Ocean County. You may have seen the headlines about 28 drug arrests in Ocean County, but what you found through investigation, working with other departments, that this just wasn't Ocean County, this was an international drug ring.
Yeah, well, we found out that it went beyond Ocean County, went up to some of the northern counties that was involved, and certainly went offshore. But more importantly, not only did it went offshore, that when the drugs came back in, they were coming in from California, they were coming in from all different ports. So it was definitely a drug network that had been established and that we had gotten ourselves tapped into.
And you made your arrest, but this is a continuing investigation, right? The DEA is handling part of this?
Yeah, part of it is that it's a longer, more complex investigation. Certainly, once we go offshore and once we're in multiple states, it becomes more of a national investigation. So it was handed off both to the DEA and also to the FBI.
I want to talk a little bit about school safety, if I can, because it's on the top of everyone's minds, and you have several schools in Ocean County that you have to worry about. Where do you come down on these walkouts?
I'm not so concerned about the walkouts in the sense that if the students feel that they need to have their voice and this is a way to express it, it's certainly not. It's not bringing down the establishment. It's not causing any kind of threat to it, and they want to just bring more attention to it. I'm okay with it. It's their way of voicing their displeasure and trying to get government and society to do the right thing. So I personally don't have a problem with it. I think the issue really is how are we going to address it? I know in my county, we have a system called a GXP system, which means that when, God forbid, there is some sort of incident that takes place in a school, all the police officers know where they are. We have the plans for the schools that come up on their cell phones so that they can get entry into the school, and they know where to go, so to speak, and it's the latest technology. Now, is that going to prevent a tragedy in a school? The answer is no. What it does is react quickly and try to curtail the tragedy so that we can get the police officers and law enforcement to the scene and right to the scene and know where to go. I think it's again a three-step process. I think that the first thing that you need to do with the schools has school safety, which means that the entry into the school, don't want to bring guns into the school. Make sure that
including guns with teachers, you're against that idea?
From a teacher standpoint, there's really a lot on their plate already, and to also say that we're now going to shift school security to a teacher, I think is kind of unfair. I'm not opposed to them necessarily carrying a gun, but I don't really see I'm not so sure I believe that is the benefit. What I'd rather see is to have somebody who is a trained individual having that gun and being on campus.
I interrupted you. You said there was a three-pronged effort, and I interrupted to ask about the guns. I think you only got through the first one.
Well, the first one, I believe, is making sure that all the entrances are secured, that the people walking through those entrances are secured, and to make sure that our children are protected while they're in the school. The second prong is definitely make sure that you can meet that right then and there, which again is having school officers and safety officers trained in the school system. And then the third thing is that when there is, God forbid, an event that's taken place, that I can get outside police officers into the school, know where to go safely to nullify that threat that exists. So it's a three-pronged approach that I think that needs to be implemented.
I want to bring up one last thing, and this is this police officer in Seaside Heights that has been charged with pulling a gun on, I guess, a cadet during some police training. That was in November of 2016. It took until 2018 to charge him. In the newspapers are asking the question, why did it take so long? So I ask you.
Well, that's assuming that it came to our attention back in 2016 when it occurred. It may have not. And I don't want to go too far because it's an ongoing investigation. But
well, you know what the inference is when the newspapers bring this up? The inference is you're showing favor to the police department because you work with them all the time, and you were reluctant to charge because it was a police officer.
I get that, and I could see where people would jump to that conclusion, but they don't have all the facts. we're kind of constrained in the sense that I certainly don't want to inhibit the defendant's rights to a fair trial and for him to advocate his position. But the bottom line is that I feel very comfortable that our actions were justifiable. The reason why it took as long as it did was for various reasons, all appropriate reasons in my opinion, and I'm good to go forward with it.
All right, sir, thank you so much for coming in.
Pleasure.
Joseph Coronato, prosecutor from Ocean County. Jersey Matters continues right after this. When we come back, 2 new casinos are opening in Atlantic City. We'll tell you the reason for optimism when Jersey Matters continues.